This is an instructional video for Fistful of Dinero on Kickstarter, published by Magic House Games. It's a game that plays about 30 minutes with 3 to 6 people. It's a game of the Old West, a game of violence and greed, a game of a poker game gone wrong. Each person will have to win by one of two ways, by violence or by greed. By violence, you're trying to be the last man standing. You're trying to kill all of your opponents and be the last one standing. Or by greed, you are trying to be the person at the end of the game with the most poker chips. If the poker chips run out, that triggers the end of the game and you just want to be the one with the most poker chips. So let's talk about how to play. One of the main mechanics of the game is card drafting. So each player has a certain amount of cards. They look at their cards and they play one of the cards in one of the 3 slots in front of them, and then they draft or pass the cards along to the next player. So then you get the cards from this player, look at them, play one down in one of the slots and pass it on, and then you complete the drafting by putting the last one in there and then discarding the rest of the cards. Now, after you do that step, you can peek and you get one swap because these will be resolved in order, basically programming your orders. So, starting with the first player, that player will resolve his first card, turn it up and resolve it, and then the next player, and the next player, and so on and so forth, and then to the second card until all of the cards have been resolved, and that would trigger the end of the round. At the end of the round, another card is burned and that many poker chips are taken out, kind of a timer or game accelerator in the game. So let's talk about what some of these cards do. If you're right-handed, then your main weapon will be on your right. If you're right-handed in real life, your main weapon, you can use at any time, and would be a 7 to hit. So if you try to hit somebody and roll 2 dice with a 10, I would hit someone. You can always use your offhand weapon if you'd like, but since you're not right-handed, you would have a penalty, so it would take an 8 to hit instead of a 7 to hit. And then there are ammo markers, and these are prototype components, but there are ammo markers to mark your ammunition, and every time you fire, you would use an ammunition. So one of the main cards that you would use to do this would be fire, attack another player. You could pick the player of your choice, and then roll the dice accordingly to fire upon them. Another card is cover. For example, if this player had cover, then depending on the opponent it's talking about, that person may need an 8 to hit instead of a 7. This person would need an 8 to hit. In a 6-player game, it would look like this, and all of his opponents would be around the table. This person would need a 9 to hit, a 9 to hit, and an 8 to hit. So one of the cards that you may get are cover, which you can put up and put in front of you. In a 3 to 4-player game, you actually just pick a single player and you're hiding behind the barrel behind that person. So let's say I fired upon him, I get a 9, I actually do hit because I would need 2 more, so I hit him. Now whenever you do hit the person and you successfully fire, you resolve a light or a heavy damage. Your weapon will tell you what type of damage, light or heavy. So then I draw a damage card, and on the light side it says 1 wound, shock, replace your next action card with a random card. Oh no, that's not good. You keep track of your wounds. When you receive 5 wounds, you are out of the game, you die. The game also further accelerates when people are eliminated. And if there's some weapons that have heavy damage, so then you would resolve the heavy side. So that's sort of how to shoot someone. Besides that, there are cards that go into your stash. If you see the stash symbol, then that card will go to your stash. Some cards give you +1 to hit, so you're better at hitting. Other cards hit the dirt, more of a defensive card, and makes the other person harder to hit you. Some of the cards you may, another card you may, as an action, would be a mad dash. This is kind of the main way to grab money. You're leaving your cover, so you'd have to discard your cover. You run for the money, you grab the money and get as much as you can. And there's different variants on that, and we'll go into more detail later. But mad dash is one of the ways to take money. Fire is the main way to fire upon somebody. Other cards would be kind of a dexterity element, a thrown chair or a tomahawk. This is where when you resolve it, you actually take the card and throw it to try to hit the other player's player board. If you hit any part of that player's player board, then you've successfully hit them and they resolve a damage. So kind of a light dexterity element. Some of them, like the chair, says if they have a cover, you can't target them. So there's all kinds of variations on it. Along with that, some other ones are rearm and reload. This lets you switch weapons should you run out of ammo. The rearm and or reload actually lets you, fill up with ammo, and that is about it. Charles, am I forgetting anything?
No, there's a few special cards that do special effects.
Oh yes, lots of fun
Tomahawk
special cards.
is one of them.
Yes, but that's about it. Super fun game. Great, plays best with 5 or 6, and we're excited to bring it to you to Kickstarter. So help us, support us, and thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.